Greetings. I'm Joyce Simons Murphy, and I'm here today to tell you how the S.N.A.P app pricing calculator works. The calculator is an easy-to-use web page application that connects directly with your paperwork for speedy price quoting and business documentation. Here's what the S.N.A.P app pricing calculator looks like. In addition to the calculator, there is an invoice and a work order. To begin using your calculator, enter your hourly rate. Note that it tells you the hourly rate of 45 equates to 75 cents per minute. Let's take a look at the categories. Use this arrow to the right of the title to take a look at all 25 category titles. Each category brings up its own list of items. So here's the list of items under accessories and add-ons. And the list continues on all the way to zippers at the end. Now let's choose a couple of alterations to practice with. Let's say we're replacing a dress zipper, and so we would look through the zipper list to find dress zipper, and here it says replace 21-inch dress zipper. So we would start here and continue across the row, reading the timing guide and the description. And if it fits, then we'd want to use the information in this row to do the calculation. So we have one dress. We're going to put in a quantity of 1. The time is going to be either 60 or 75 minutes according to the guide, with replacing a regular zipper by machine being the 60 minutes and hand picking the zipper being the 75 minutes. And the other option is simply for you to time the alteration and put in your sewing time. So I'm going to enter my sewing time for a regular zipper at 60 minutes. And when I click enter, the price comes into the price cell at $45. So 60 minutes being an hour, the hourly rate 45, so we know that one is correct. But having the computer do it for us makes it a whole lot quicker. Now we're going to use the bottom part of this worksheet to record the selected alterations. So cut and paste the words for the title, and you can change those words if you want, but I'm going to copy them with a Control-C and then Control-V, paste it into the selected alterations table. And I'm going to use my $45 amount in the price column. And here I'm free to change it at will to whatever seems appropriate for that particular alteration. Now let's see what the app does with the selected alterations. So we'll go over to the invoice and notice that the 21-inch zipper replacement appears on the first row. And if we flip over to the work order, it appears in the same place. So you can use either the work order or the invoice or both. Now let's return to the calculator and choose another alteration. But before we do that, it's an important step to remove the quantity and the time once you select it and put it down below, because these same rows and columns are going to be used for another category, and to leave your information in there would be confusing. So let's go ahead and choose jacket hems and repairs and get an example from here. Let's say you have a casual jacket that a client brought in, and you want to taper and hem the sleeves on the jacket. So reading across the row, taper and reset knit or shirt cuff lengthening slit is 60 minutes. Remaking the placket on a jacket sleeve is 75 minutes. That's just a timing guide, and as it says, it's only a guide, so you are free to put in whatever seems appropriate to you. So we have one set of sleeves, and perhaps the actual time it took to hem those sleeves and taper them is 65 minutes, so I'm going to put in 65. And when I hit the tab button, it tells me $48.75 is the total. Now maybe I want to round that to 49 or 50, and that's fine. I can enter whatever I want. So I'm going to take the title, and this time I right-clicked in order to copy and paste from the right-click menu. And then I'm going to put in 50 for the alteration for tapering and hemming the sleeves. And perhaps I want to note a little more information about what the item is. So I might type in casual jacket. And then let's take a look and see what happens on our invoice and work order. And sure enough, it appears on the invoice and it appears in the work order. So we're good to go. Now what we'd want to do to finish out this invoice is to put in the name of our customer, email address and phone number perhaps, and an ID number for the work order. Now the work order adds up the subtotal, makes room for taking a deposit, and tells how much is due. So if you're asking for approximately half down, maybe the client puts $50 down, and there's your documentation to go with that eventuality. And also on the work order is a statement, an agreement that the client understands this is an estimate of charges, and unwritten here, but implied, is that the price could be slightly different when the work is actually completed. Then we'll click over to the invoice and notice on the invoice that there's more detail, including taxes. And you can have this set up the way you want it. So it could be that taxes appear on both work order and invoice, or that if you are using QuickBooks accounting software, for instance, maybe you invoice out of QuickBooks and you supply a work order out of the S.N.A.P app tools. And then it is likely that you want a copy of this invoice. So you can do it in a couple of ways. There's a print button at the bottom of the app that you can use, or you can use a snipping tool to take a snapshot of the screen. And if you do that, you'll want to make your invoice small enough so that everything appears on the screen before you try to snip it. So I reduced the size on the screen, brought up my snipping tool. I'm going to choose New and draw a rectangle around the area that I want to take the screenshot of, and then save this as a JPEG and either stick it in an email or print out a copy for my client and for myself. And then when I'm thoroughly finished with the invoice and or the work order, I can reset this with one click of a button to 0 all the way through, and the calculator is now ready for the next client. So that covers the basics of using S.N.A.P Pricing Calculator. Thank you for listening and watching. I'm Joyce Simons Murphy, and I hope that you enjoy using the pricing calculator as much as I enjoyed in developing it for you. Thank you for listening and watching, and have a great day.